You're such an asshole.
The last video before I'm caught up, one of you sons of bitches pays me. It's just, I always get caught up. Like, it's this great feeling. My email's all gone. It's all clean. Like, yeah. And then I'll go get a burger and come back 3 more paid. It's like, fuck. This is in theory the last one for today. And then tomorrow I'm taking off. I take off tomorrow. I might do a podcast with Elkins if Elkins wants to take a day off. But we got to get Atham in here too, because his patron, who paid for half of his vasectomy, wants us to do a skit. Anonymous writes, I just finished your new book of numbers. Awesome. Well, thank you. The book of numbers right here, available on paperback and Kindle and audio. Get that book. I'm also done with the first 3 Rational Male books. Those are thick. And Rich Cooper's Alpha Male. Also, I got it right here. Look at all the books I got. Where's Rich's book? Here's Rich's book. Come on. There we go. Also get that book. That's a good book too. I'm 35, typically generate over 100,000 a year. Have owned a home for 12 years. That's doubled in value. Work out, sense of humor, etc. You're shortish. I don't want to identify how short you are because you have unique traits here, which works against me, but I'm good with that. The last long-term relationship I was in ended up with me getting herpes 2 from the girl. I haven't really bothered getting back into the scene, and the primary reason being the herpes diagnosis. I know it's common, but fuck, it's still a bummer knowing that as an ethical individual, I've got to disclose it. Should I pursue women again? Looking for advice. Did you say anything else? That's it. Nice and short and sweet. So, all right, couple things. Herpes is way more common than you would have thought. When I did the research for the book of numbers, not to mention my other book, How Not to Become a Millennial, it is shocking how many people have the genital herpes. Not everyone's got the cold sore herpes. That's, I think, herpes 1. The one down below is herpes 2, and that's the bad herpes. But it's 1 in 10 men have it, and 1 in 4 women have it. And I was just like, what? 1 in 4? And then I do the math. I'm like, I must have come in contact with someone. I mean, it just statistically had to have. But 2 thankful things, if there can be thankful things about herpes. 1, most people are asymptomatic. 2, it can be worked around. It can't be, well, you could treat it, but it can't be cured. It can be treated. And as long as you're not flaring up and you're careful and blah, 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 someone with herpes can have a relationship with someone without. And I've known a couple where that happened. And thankfully he did not get infected and the relationship ended. And I said, why are you doing? But Cappy, stop asking the why and just go play Legos with your nieces and go hike a canyon in the Black Hills. All right, I will. So, yes, that those are, quote, the 2 good things about herpes. So you're looking, I've got to disclose it. Should I pursue women again? Looking for advice. All right, so let's take some worry off your plate. You have it. There's nothing you could do about it, so stop worrying about it. All right. Also, I would stop worrying about disclosing it to women. That is just something you have to do. Because how would you feel if you passed it on to somebody and she was not asymptomatic? Like it was a flu or even, really allergic or whatever. You're very responsive to it. How bad would you feel? All right. So it's already a pretty bad, it's not a great situation. It's not the end of the world, but it's not a great situation. But yeah, you have to you absolutely have to. You cannot be one of those people. You absolutely have to disclose it. And I would go, there's dating sites online where people of the same STDs can date because you already got it. So I think that's a place to go. And I didn't know how common it was for both men and women to have STDs, but to paint a little silver lining, with 1/4 of women that got herpes and only 1 in 10 men have it. If I do, I think that's 2.5 women for every guy. Did I do the math right on that? So you're going on that day, you're in a distinct minority. There's 2.5 times as many women as guys. course, this presupposes these women care about not passing on STDs. And so, I better stick with guys that have herpes as well. But let's just assume optimistically and morally. So you got to disclose. So don't worry about it. You got to disclose it. You can go to those online dating sites. And yeah, I think you should pursue women again. I'm sure the relationship sucked, and overcoming that and finding out you got the herp, that sucks, and that takes a little bit of a psychological getting over. But inevitably, you'd like to go and date girls, and since it's 1 in 4. I mean, it's not that uncommon. So, and I know there's a stigma associated with it, and but it's not like, it's not the end of the world either. And innocent people, it doesn't mean they're bad people either. Innocent people get it. So I would not have as much guilt or shame. Just be honest. And then when you date gals, looking for advice, I don't know if I'd lead with that on your dating profile. And to be honest, just to save you time, I would just go with the websites that just specialize in people that have that STD, because then you're not wasting other girls' time. If you want to date on like regular sites and you don't know whether the girl has an STD or not, you would want to negotiate and flirt and email and whatever on the internet. But before you went on a date, say, look, I gotta be perfectly honest with you. I have an STD, and I don't want to waste your time. I mean, it's treatable. We can have that, blah, blah. I'm just saying, just spare you your time, not to mention your own time. Be forthright and upfront about it. And there you go. And saving, because here's the time's not on your side on this one. You're going to have to go through a lot of girls and dates to find a gal that is going to be either okay with it or she herself is infected. So I don't even know if I'd be wasting time with traditional dating sites, or maybe somewhere within, I'm sure this must be an option with the online dating sites, is you can list that you have a particular STD, and then only other people with that STD could contact. I'm sure there's something like that, or, STD awareness. You could search for tags like that. But morally, psychologically, ethically, yeah, you could go and date. Just make sure you do it intellectually, honestly. You have the right to go date. I think it's time. It's past. You've overcome it. Just for the God's sake, do not give it to some poor innocent girl. Do not pass it along. Make sure, as long as you do that, you're in the clear. You're good to go. I have spoken. Juan Doe, so you're saying we shouldn't raw dog Cappy? No. When I wondered about that, I tried to look up the data on the Millennial book, like what happened to rates? Like, did it all go up? And what it really boils down to is the younger you are, obviously the fewer people have, a lower percentage of the population has an STD, but as it can only go up from there. And so boomers have like obviously the highest, well, I guess what few World War II people may exist probably have the highest, but the boomers have the highest STD infection rate because they've been around the longest, having the most amount of sex. But yeah, I guess if you're going to fuck young and start wearing a condom, go get STD. I did that back in the day. Like, no, if I was going to date a girl seriously, like, we're getting STD tested right now. I only had positive experiences with that, where girls are like, oh, that's really mature. Now I want to have sex with you more. Thank you. Yes, you should. All right, that's it. See you guys later. Toodles.